Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 2nd. Here's what we're working on this morning. Nearly a year after a devastating fire, downtown Hamilton's YMCA is set to fully reopen.
Hamilton Shea Gilgis Alexander signs a record-breaking contract.
And it was a day packed with celebrations for Canada Day. Someone had a ton of fun yesterday.
Yeah, I love how surprised you were to see that video.
It was like, what? Yep. In the 1924 fire truck. Yeah, leading off the parade yesterday. Oh, what a day it was. It was so much fun. It really was. I mean, Lyndon puts out a great Canada Day parade and festivities afterwards. And I hope everybody else, you guys, had a great Canada Day.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Lovely. And the weather worked out perfectly. Another year where we thought, okay, could be a shower, could be a thunderstorm, could be some rotten vegetables coming my way because people are getting wet at the parade. But it didn't happen. The skies cleared nicely. The sun was out, and it was a beautiful afternoon. And, of course, a nice night last night for the fireworks and all the way around. So I hope you had a great Canada Day. We're looking at a beautiful start to our day today. And actually, today is going to be an awful lot like it was yesterday. Chance of a shower or a thunderstorm for the day today. Again, a high of 29 with a humidex of 34, pretty much what we had yesterday. And we're sitting actually a little cooler this morning, which is nice. We're sitting at 15 degrees, and we have some sunshine coming up nicely. So we'll talk about the forecast in a few minutes. Right now, look at traffic, see if there's anything going on as we get back to it after the holiday yesterday. Nothing there at the 403 and Waterdown Road, so looks good. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras, see if there's anything happening. First of all, we'll go to St. Catharines. Garden City Skyway looks good. The Burlington Skyway, nice and easy going, and no problems as we head through Bronte Road. And as usual, we will give you details on weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. The men's residence on the third floor of Hamilton's downtown YMCA is set to reopen today, nearly 1 year after a destructive fire. Simone Gavros joins us live from outside the downtown Y with the details. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Rick. An all-new group of residents are going to be moving into the YMCA later today after the previous group found new housing. So it's likely going to be a busy day as everyone is settling into their new homes here at the YMCA here in downtown Hamilton. But the third floor last year had extensive damage after a fire broke out in one of the units. This happened last July 22nd. Over 170 men were displaced at the time, and the Y was temporarily shut down. Floors 2, 4, and 5 reopened a few months after the fire last year, but the third floor needed more work. Now it's opening with a new transitional living program with wraparound supports, including mental health and addiction services for up to 43 men, and over $400,000 were donated from the community to help with these recovery costs. So this morning, I have reached out to the YMCA for more information about the reopening today. We're likely going to see more people coming in as they're going to be moving into their new residence here downtown in Hamilton at the YMCA. For now, I'll send things back over to you, Annette.
Okay, thanks very much, Simone. Well, one of the changes to Ontario's Blue Box program is sparking air quality concerns. The provincial government's new regulations are set to make producers of recyclables, not municipalities, responsible for the cost of the Blue Box program. Well, one of the proposals would allow companies to count recyclable materials that are incinerated for as much as 15% of their recycling targets. There are worries that burning plastics or paper or cardboard would cause air pollution. The government's Blue Box transition is expected to be finished by the end of this year.
6 people are in custody after a home invasion near Huntsville. The search for them caused a lengthy shutdown of a section of Highway 11. For most of Canada Day, the OPP had asked people along the highway and in the area to shelter in place, lock their vehicles, and not go outside on porches or patios. The home invasion happened at 5 yesterday morning in the community of Hillside in Lake of Bays.
Prime Minister Mark Carney had a serious message on Canada Day about the country's future.
The world is changing. Old friendships are fraying. Our economy is being buffeted by a trade war we didn't start. Our values are being tested by attacks on democracy and freedoms that we must resist.
That speech comes after the White House claimed that Carney had caved to U.S. President Donald Trump by removing the digital services tax. Trade talks have since resumed between our two nations. In the face of Trump's threats, a new poll from Angus Reid shows Canadian pride is growing. 82% of respondents say they are proud, somewhat proud, or very proud to be Canadian. That's back up to around pre-COVID levels.
Hamiltonians marked Canada Day with fireworks, food, and fun.
It makes me feel proud to be the mayor of this city. I mean, let's face it, this cultural space is so diverse, and the city's very diverse, but when you have everybody in one place, in one park for one festival, you really get to realize the beauty of it, the fact that our city is a place for everyone, and that everyone can have fun together in this wonderful park.
Hundreds of people gathered in Gage Park for the It's Your Festival, featuring a mix of music, language, and food from all walks of life. The 4-day festival wrapped up yesterday.
And the community of Linden made the most of the beautiful weather for its Canada Day parade.
Canada Day!
Brian says his arms are still tired from that. One of the big features of the parade is the wide and colorful variety of vehicles, including Brian Wood, who was the marshal of the parade. The parade also had live music from local talent, good food, and of course there was fireworks in Linden last night as well. The Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum hosted a birthday party yesterday, not for the country, but for one of the country's most famous historic planes. The Lancaster bomber. Well, what a beauty. She turned 80 yesterday. Over 2,000 guests gathered at the museum to celebrate her.
The Lancaster bomber is an amazing aircraft, and I'm really surprised that it's lasted 80 years and it still flies like a beauty.
You know, when you see that, you know about the people that spent their time in the forces and did what they needed to do, and it's very powerful.
Warplane Heritage Museum's Lancaster, one of only 2 flying in the world, was built at Victory Aircraft in Malton in 1945. A Grimsby firefighter is going to do 21 half marathons over 21 days starting September 21st. His goal, to raise $21,000 for Pathstone Mental Health. Ryan Gallagher has seen firsthand what it's like to neglect your mental health. In the promotional video for the fundraiser, he describes his experience with grief and substance abuse and how running and therapy helped him. He has raised more than $20,000 so far and says people are welcome to continue to donate or join him in his September challenge.
It is time for Sportsline, and the Blue Jays celebrated Canada Day in a grand way.
And a high fly ball to left center field. It's going, and it is gone.
George Springer hit 2 home runs, including his 9th career grand slam, to lead Toronto to a 12-5 win over the Yankees in front of a packed house at the Dome. Springer went 3 for 4 and drove in a career-high 7 runs to push the Jays to within 1 game of the AL East leading Yanks. Andres Jimenez hit a 3-run dinger for Toronto, who won the first 2 games of this 4-game series. Maple Leafs are now officially in the post-Mitch Marner era after he was traded to Vegas.
It seemed like everything was a pretty good fit for my wife and I and our new son, and yeah, the winning aspect of this team really helped in everything as well, and you know, the great players they have here. So lucky enough it all worked out, and you know, this is where we wanted to be.
He looks so weird in that uniform. Marner shared a post on Instagram thanking the Maple Leafs and their fans after spending 9 years with the club. He wrote in part, quote, "I'll always be grateful for my time here, and most of all, I'm so proud to have been a Toronto Maple Leaf." Leafs GM Brad Treliving says they knew for a while that Marner would test free agency and decided to get something for him.
When a player of Mitch's magnitude moves away, that's never a fun day, but we're able to recoup a player who I think can really help us.
Toronto dealt Marner to Vegas for center Nick Waugh before free agency opened yesterday. Day one of free agency was kind of a dud. Most of the big-name players re-signed with their teams before noon yesterday. Brock Besser hit free agency, but is surprisingly staying in Vancouver after he signed a 7-year deal worth $7.25 million a season. Hockey Hall of Famer Alex Delvecchio died at his home in Rochester, Michigan yesterday. The Thunder Bay native helped the Detroit Red Wings win the Stanley Cup in 1952, 54, and 55, and his number 10 is retired by the team. Cause of death has not been announced. He was 93. A Supermax contract for a superhuman hoopster.
Allen trying to poke it away, looking to double team him. Tiptoeing along, now goes up, pulls up, jump shot. There it is! 50 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
The NBA MVP has signed a 4-year extension with the Thunder worth $285 million. The Hamilton native will earn $71.25 million every year through the 2030-31 campaign. That's the richest deal in league history. The 26-year-old led the NBA in scoring last season. He won the Finals MVP after leading OKC to its first championship. The Raptors inked center Jakob Poeltl to a 4-year, $104 million extension through 2029-30. Burlington's Victoria Mbako making the most of her opportunity at Wimbledon. The 18-year-old lost in qualifying last week, but was awarded a spot in the main draw after another player withdrew. So yesterday, Mbako upset Magdalena French 6-3, 6-2. Fellow Canadian Denis Shapovalov lost to Mariano Navone 3-6, 6-4, 6-1, 6-4. Toronto Maple Leafs doubled the Welland Jackfish 4-2 in IBL action last night. Brantford crushed Chatham-Kent 25-3. The Niagara Ironbacks topped the Jamestown Tarp Skunks 10-9. And a boys field lacrosse team from Southern Ontario went 1-2 on day one of the Under-13 Lacrosse World Series in Philadelphia. The team includes Hamilton and Burlington players Colton Jackson, Reed Michaluk, and Jacob Anger.
There we are, 12 minutes after 6 on the button. Well done again. I had a viewer come up to me yesterday and say, I love it when you hit it right on the button. Yes. Okay, there we did it for you. All right, it's Wednesday morning. It's the 2nd of July. Let's get you into the morning. We'll talk traffic first of all. Here's the 403 in Waterdown Road. Doing okay right there. So we haven't started to build volume-wise yet. No collisions. To some MTO traffic cameras. We'll go into St. Catharines. Here's the Garden City Skyway East. Sun coming up so nicely here this morning. Red Hill Creek doing fine. Here's Fairview just beginning to slow as you head toward Brant. And of course, when you get to Brant, you turn toward the east and you head right into the sun, so it kind of slows you down a bit. East of Royal Windsor doing fine. Here's a look at Dixie Road. Nothing going on the road. So take it carefully as usual. Let's start with our temperature that we have at the moment here this morning. Our temperature still sitting at 15 degrees this hour. So yesterday we were 21 with a humidex of almost 30. So today it's much cooler to start. We do still have, again this morning, some ground fog in different areas. Winds are light. Humidity, of course, is right up there. It's one of the reasons we get that ground fog. Air quality risk for the day today. No risk today. It's low risk category. So it looks good. Frontal boundary went through yesterday. Some areas had a shower, some areas missed it completely, so it turned out to be a lovely afternoon yesterday. Fairly clear skies overnight. We're going to see some sun for the day, and then with that approaching boundary, we could get a shower or a thunderstorm later, not only today, but pretty much the same thing for tomorrow as well. A little bit of instability in the atmosphere. So today, a warm day, about where we got to yesterday, 29 with a humidex of 34 yesterday. Pretty much the same thing for today, 28 to 30 in other areas. Tonight, partly cloudy, again, chance of instability. Temperatures 16 to 19 to 20, depending on where you are, of course, around the horseshoe. And then tomorrow, pretty much the same again with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Tomorrow, 27 to 28 degrees, humidex in the low 30s for the day tomorrow. But yeah, that instability kind of hangs on for tomorrow. So out the door, second morning of July, we have light winds. We do have a bit of fog. Temperature is mostly sunny. The skies are mostly sunny. The temperature right now is 15. Long range coming up. Annette, right.
All right, thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And Trump's tax and spending cuts bill has passed the Senate. Canadian businesses could lose billions. Let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic. What's coming up in Chit Chat this morning?
Jennifer Aniston will star in a series inspired by Jeanette McCurdy's memoir. Looks really good.
Okay.
And Squid Game. Have you watched it, Rick? Are you done? The third season?
Season 3, yes. It was great.
I'm so jelly. I haven't watched it yet.
Yes.
But
Not as good as season 1, but better than season 2.
Interesting.
Okay. Oh, but then you've got to watch. Do you have to watch season 2 to get to season 3?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do.
Sorry,
Watching
Annette.
like this.
Well, Squid Game, the reason I'm talking about it is because it's breaking records.
Nice. Okay.
And staying in South Korea, the K-pop group BTS is making a comeback with a lot of new music.
Oh, hold on to your hats. I can see the lineups already from the concert.
Right? Screaming fans.
Thanks, Emily. Okay. Let's take a look at the markets. The loonie is down 3 basis points to 73.28 cents U.S. Gold is $3.50 an ounce lower, and crude is up 5 cents to $65.50 a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are up across the board in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, markets were down in Tokyo, up in Hong Kong, down a little bit in Shanghai. North American markets, of course, Bay Street was closed for Canada Day. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 400 points and the Nasdaq lost 166.
The U.S. Senate has passed Donald Trump's tax and spending cuts bill. Vice President J.D. Vance broke a tie for Republicans. The bill will add $3.3 trillion to the U.S. national debt.
When people start losing their Medicaid, when they start losing their jobs, when their electric bills go up, when their premiums go up, when kids and parents lose SNAP funding, the people of America will remember this vote. The American people will remember the Republican betrayal, and Americans will pay the price for this perfidy for generations.
Canadians and Canadian businesses will also pay the price. One part of the bill will raise taxes for Canadian companies that do business in the States, which could cost billions of dollars.
Shares of Tesla are slumping. They're down more than 20% this year as electric vehicle sales slow, and also because of owner Elon Musk's support of U.S. President Donald Trump. And that support has slipped again over Trump's sweeping bill of tax breaks and spending cuts. Musk has threatened to form a new political party. And Trump says his government should look into cutting subsidies to Musk companies. Musk once led the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, under Trump, but he left that role in late May to focus on his companies.
Sticking with the auto sector, Ford Motor Company sales jumped more than 14% in the second quarter, far outpacing the industry average of just under 2%. The gain was driven by strong demand for F-Series pickups, hybrids, and EVs. Hybrid sales surged, but fully electric vehicle sales fell over 30%. Ford sold more than 600,000 vehicles last quarter. Earlier this year, Donald Trump imposed 25% tariffs on imported vehicles and many auto parts imported into the U.S. Those tariffs pushed some buyers to buy early, but analysts say that boost in demand may fade if prices stay high.
Okay, 6:20 right now. We're going to take a quick break, and Brian is back with his sore arm and his tired smile with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Second morning of July. Welcome to the, oh boy, we got, it's going right to our MTO traffic camera. We've got to slow down here. Hopefully that doesn't mean there's a collision going down toward North Shore Boulevard, but I'll check that. I haven't heard word of any collisions, but all of a sudden, since the last time I checked this camera, it has really gotten slow across the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. But then again, that could be the backlog going from Brand Street when you hit the Sunshine there. We'll flip ahead to Bronte Road. Speaking of sunshine, what a glorious start to our morning here. Lovely sun, a little bit cooler, but really not a lot of volume except, of course, the Skyway. Erin Mills Parkway is doing fine as you head through Mississauga. We'll flip over to the 403. This is the 403 west of Mississauga Road, so Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us, obviously a little bit slower there. We go back into St. Catharines. Nope, there's nothing going on at the Garden City Skyway. But let's check that camera at the top of the Skyway. Yeah, it's fairly slow at the moment. I'll double check in a couple of minutes to see if there's any problems going down toward Fairview, but I haven't heard of anything. So, all right, let's get to our temperature and our forecast. Yeah, it's a little fresher this morning than it was yesterday morning. Yesterday morning we were 21 with a humidex of almost 30. This morning we're sitting at 15, so it's a lovely start to our day today in the sun. 17 for Toronto, sitting at 18 for Grimsby and for Mississauga. Now let's talk seasonal temperatures for this time of year. 15, so there we are. Seasonal overnight low And that's how we figure we'll start a day here in July. 26 for the daytime high. We beat that yesterday. We'll beat it again for today. Those are our sun times and records for today. And yeah, as you can see there's a chance of some instability, and it looks like it'll be later this afternoon. We could get a shower. We could get a thunderstorm, but there's that 29 feeling like 34 for the day today. We get some sun, particularly this morning. 17 overnight tonight. Again, chance of showers and thunderstorms that'll stick around for the day tomorrow. 27 feeling like 31 tomorrow. Gorgeous day Friday, sunny and 26. For the weekend now, there's just a slim chance. It's only 30% chance of a shower. 30 and 31 degrees, getting warmer and then cooling off back to sunshine for Monday and Tuesday. That's your forecast. Annette, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. A teenager from Thunder Bay could win a $15,000 U.S. scholarship for wearing a tuxedo made of duct tape.
Bronson Agamwe spent over 130 hours and 20 rolls of tape making his outfit for the Stuck at Prom contest. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
The competition is open to students from both Canada and the U.S. And get this, and I don't know how, he is the only Canadian among the 5 tuxedo finalists. What would Red Green think? The 19-year-old is heading to Lakehead University this fall to study nursing, but first he's hoping his sticky suit pays off with that scholarship. Online voting runs until July 9th. You can vote once a day. So let's get this. The only Canadian. Let's make him the winner of this contest. I already voted.
I would have never, looking at that suit, I would have never have guessed that's made of duct tape.
Yeah.
That is sensational.
There you go.
Wow.
Very fancy.
I like the scepter as well.
Yes.
Stay with us. More to come after the break. Brian might break out his scepter as well.
Yes. In his weather trunk collection.